So there's a blue dot location. There's navigation, which is about having an arrow and go this way to find the where the shops are in the airport, so you can spend money and we can take our percentage. And uh, and there's analytics. What sort of analytics are people typically looking at?
Um, Analytics is very sector specific. Uh, it's
Okay.
really interesting. So each sector has a very particular thing they want to do with location analytics. To give you a couple of examples, airports. My favorite example is one of our airport clients will. So it's not using Bluetooth; it's actually using Wi-Fi positioning. They will see. They will look at the gate where you board the flight. They will see which devices are around that gate, and then they will look through the record that we'll have collected throughout the airport to see where that device has been and how long it spent at each sector of the airport. So what that means is when that person entered, did they spend more than 20 minutes queuing at check-in? Did they spend more than 20 minutes in the security? And then as a consequence, did they have no time to spend in duty free? And so you can make a really neat ROI calculation that says if I have one extra person at check-in, I can reduce the queue by X minutes per person, which leaves X more minutes in duty free. And then these duty free shops, they make a fortune out of passengers going through, and they measure it in terms of, there's the golden hour concept. So any extra minute of time that you can get a passenger to spend in duty free is, tangible dollars in sales. So by looking at that, they can build up a profile to say, this flight to Singapore versus this flight to Rio. I know that if I add one person extra at check-in, I can generate $20,000 over the course of this month, or $240,000 over the course of the year. And it's a lot of money when you work it back. It really is an impressive ROI. That's airports. Then in retail, it's about footfall. It's one of my favorite examples is when it's raining, which door do people use to come into the shopping mall? Do they come in through the main car park, or do they come in through the metro? And so can I configure where I put my advertising or my events or my seating or my all that stuff based around that? And then of course, if they did go to a particular area, so if I'm a mall manager and I hire a band to play for an hour, the people who came to that area of the mall, where did they go after that? Did they just go home, or did they go to Zara and spend 20 minutes looking at clothes? That's
Ah, yeah, that's fascinating. But so, in a sense, you're competing against the camera infrastructure, are you not, in that sort of case? Because I can use my camera infrastructure to look at the flow of people and like it's the
also
same information, isn't it?
camera infrastructure is fantastic, and if the there's two things holding you back with camera infrastructure. The first is cost; it's very expensive, and then the second is data privacy, because you can recognize a face,
Wow.
and so in a lot of places you're not, strictly speaking, allowed to track an individual as they walk around without their prior consent, which you can't really get in many of these environments. Um,
But you can, if it's an app, then you can ask for their consent. If it's a camera, then how do you do that? You can't do it. Yeah.
That's it, yeah. Of course, a camera is more accurate. You get centimeter accuracy with the camera, and the coverage is also going to be better.
It's
So
100%. You get every person can be seen by the camera, although maybe you don't have 100% coverage of everywhere with the camera, whereas you might arguably, I don't know.
with beacons, yeah.
It's an interesting argument. Yeah.
Um, but again, like many of our clients deploy both solutions. So airports often have,
Interesting.
yeah, have a camera. Sorry.
Well, and I guess the other thing is potentially if you have an app, then you can get all sorts of demographics. You can start to learn about the customer over time and how often they've come back and where they went, which shops they went into over time, and then how there's all sorts of things that you can do if you have it integrated into the app, and that app is learning as long as they've opted in.
Absolutely. Yes, that's a big part of it. Understanding loyalty, understanding of people coming back, and where do they spend their time.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Mr. Beacon podcast here on YouTube. You can listen to the rest of this episode on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed it, please like and share this video, and be sure to subscribe for more weekly videos. For more information about Wiliot and IoT Pixels, head on over to wiliot.com.